message. And the message is, so for those of you who, dealt with any type of like oppressive type of energy, karmic individuals in your life doing this and that, trying to cause problems and delays and obstacles and not for you, um, or let's say for instance you're in proximity to these people and you've seen what they've done to others, right? What's happening is around right now, as we move into the lunar new moon as well, that marks a change in time, change in energy, and also too we got this equinox coming up too. So there's gonna be like some shadow cast over on the activities that these people have been doing in the background, and there's gonna be this level of subconscious analysis of what they've caused and what they've done. Now, this is the thing. A lot of karmic people that go out and they do whatever they do to other people, they don't feel bad about it because in their mind, that's what they're supposed to be doing, and they have rights to do it, etc. They're very psychologically disturbed people that they lack empathy. They lack a level of humanity, right? That's why they love coming over to us empaths, because we have a lot of what they don't have at all. We have it in overflow and excess and abundance. A lot of these individuals, when they were doing what they were doing, they didn't care. They had no care in the world. It didn't matter to them. They even thought it was funny. Da 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 da. They turned it into some type of sport or a hobby. Being oppressive and malicious, malevolent, etc. Now, what's happening is these individuals are realizing that that comes with a price, and their burden, their responsibility that they picked up now, because they want to have the responsibility of being in somebody's life like that and having that control. They wanted the responsibility of trying to make someone feel either suicidal. And I'm saying that because I know that some people can end up feeling suicidal with the stuff that goes on when you're dealing with these karmics. If you don't know what you're dealing with, you can become suicidal, for real. And that's their whole entire point, because they're soul eaters, they're death eaters. So when they were doing all of that, they didn't realize that they were accumulating what we call the responsibility. So the most I was watching, and the universal forces were watching, like, okay, we're going to just let this person keep going, because surely they know that on the other end of this, they're going to have responsibility for what they created. Whether that be emotional responsibility and mental responsibility, financial, etc. I'm going to tell you right now, any single karmic that you've seen them just walk away from what they've done, they never walk away. Even think about people like the Bush family, or what's that dude's name? He was the vice president with George Bush, and they were using their position, his connection in investments and stocks like that, Halliburton, to basically like trade bullets between the US and the other countries during war and whatnot. Like, he was making a whole bunch of money off of that conflict and bullshit. I can't remember his name, but like, think about those type of people. They created so much chaos and havoc on the planet, and you think they just walked away? No, they're in hell. Either they got sanctioned, yes, they look like war criminals to the entire world. That's another thing. But then the other responsibility is the responsibility that they're getting spiritually. They can't sleep at night, they can't eat, they're disturbed, they're doing drugs, they have to engage in all kinds of low vibing behavior just to maintain. So there's something there that they give up in exchange for being in that energy. And a lot of these karmics are burdened right now because they thought that they were just going to walk away and be peachy and happy-go-lucky, and the universe is working on them. Either their consciousness is starting to catch up with them and they're starting to realize what they created and what they did, or something else that's happening is they're under judgment by the universe and they're starting to realize, dang, this is actually real. I shouldn't have tried to tamper or play with this. Or they're going through some other situation and they're refusing to connect it to what they did to you or other people. And they're like, just what was me? Nah. So right now, a lot of these karmics are understanding that they have a responsibility now. And they wanted to have a responsibility to play with your life and do this and do that. Now they have another responsibility that they're feeling some type of way. Yeah, because a lot of them realize what they got themselves involved in. A lot of them realize the burden now that they have on their shoulders. Well, you wanted that title. They wanted the title of trying to destroy you, or make you suicidal, or make you sad, or make you anxious, or make you broke, or try to tamper with your destiny, but they couldn't even hold the charge. That's another thing too, that a lot of these karmics are getting into fucking hot water for, because they're trying to steal your energy, they're trying to take your essence, they're trying to tamper with you and your work or your destiny and your life path, but they themselves, they can't even they don't even have the energetic signature necessary to carry the charge. So now they're getting double whammy from the universe, because first of all, you interfered with our plans, we didn't fucking ask you to do that. Second of all, bitch, you couldn't even handle the work, even if we did give it to you. That was for them, for specifically for them, for a specific reason. See, a lot of these karmics, they want your gifts and your destiny, but they don't want your struggle. They don't want your story. They don't want the backlash and the things that you have to deal with on the other end of that. They don't. They just want all the glory and the gifts and the attention and the shit like that. They don't want the hard work or none of that shit. They don't. That's why I'm gonna just keep it hella real. You see a lot of the karmics that talk about me, they can talk, but when it comes to working, they can't manifest anything. Because that's where the real gift lies. Anybody can talk. So right now, a lot of your karmics are coming to the realization that they have a responsibility that they chose to pick up when they decided to tamper with you. Yeah, and it's a major responsibility that they're reaping right now, and they don't want it. No, it's too much. It's too hard. No, 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 no. It's like having a child. That's what's happening with these karmics now. The child that they created with their fuckery and their mess and their chaos, they don't want the responsibility of handling whatever they did. They don't want the title anymore. A lot of these karmics too that they were dealing with you, they thought that they were going to keep their title of elder or leader or whatever in your community, in your church, in your family after doing what they did, and their titles are getting stripped and revoked, and the respect is gone completely. And they're mad at you now because they're falling from grace. But you decided that you wanted that role. You wanted that role to try to destroy, to try to tamper, to try to interfere, to create chaos. Now take your responsibilities. What's the problem? Because these karmics, they lack foresight. They thought that they didn't see both sides of the application. They didn't see both sides of the job description. Divine people, when we jump in, we get everything, the good and the bad. And then we make our decision. Karmics, when they go to play, they only see the benefits. Then they flip the page over like, I didn't see all these requirements and I didn't see all this. That's your motherfucking job now. Handle it. And you're going to see some of these karmics, they're going to be getting employee of the month, karmic of the month, because they went above and beyond. It's over now. Yeah. Really feeling some type of way because they really thought that they were going to destroy you and do this and do that. Now they realize that they created a responsibility on their head. Yeah, they wanted to play Grim Reaper. They wanted to play Destiny Maker. They wanted to play Nostradamus. They wanted to play Judge, Jury, Executioner. You wanted that leadership position. They wanted that title over you. They wanted that position in your life. Now it's going to be hell and hot water. You know, I want to give an example of how I've seen this in real time. Like the karmic that there's this dirty ass karmic. She tried to use me in a ritual, like an energy harvesting ritual. She wanted to use me as a sacrifice and take my gifts and stuff like that. And that shit backfired and blew up in that karmic's face. And now the responsibility that she has on her hands in terms of explaining to other people what you were doing in the first place that caused a whole bunch of bullshit and chaos and started a whole bunch of mess. And the fact that even the work that I was doing that she tried to stop, no one has even been able to do it. I'm still doing it. Now she has a bigger responsibility on her head to explain to people, to explain to the Most High, what the fuck did you think that you were doing? Now this karmic has a bigger responsibility because all that bullshit backfired onto her and they can't handle it. They're too weak to handle it. It's like the story of Horus. The legs were underdeveloped. They were underdeveloped. They couldn't even have these different orchestrators, you know, who try to maintain the harmony and the balance and support the divine people. They're gonna have to talk to them and say, okay, so this is our child. We tasked them to do A, B, C, and D. So who gave you the responsibility to do A, B, and C, and D? A lot, especially these karmics that play with spell work, a lot of them are going through that right now. A lot of them are going through that because they're going through hell and hot water, and they're starting to realize the sociopathy. It's going down right now, y'all. Ooh. Man, ancestors be a fucking fence because these karmics are getting their karma and they cannot stand it. So weak. Hella weak-minded. They want the glory and the fame and the attention, but they don't want the sacrifice. None of that. You know what? And for a lot of us divine beings, I'm going to talk about this. A lot of us, we have the spirit. Sorry, I look a mess right now. My hair is a mess. I've been running so many errands and just working and stuff like that, so just excuse me. Us divine people, we weren't out there causing problems for other individuals and shit like that. We had to sacrifice, we had to stay alone, be mocked and ridiculed and shit like that. And that's how we retained our divinity and our essence, and that's how we got our uniqueness. Those karmics didn't have to go through all that. They did it. They forfeited all of that. They want to run with people. They want to side with people. They want popularity and friends and connections and shit like that. And they sacrificed the ability to be unique for that. Then when they see you getting blessings because you're unique and you didn't fall into the pitfalls and the traps that society lays out with that type of stuff, they want to be mad at you. They want to take your birthright. That shit is not going to work. It's not going to work. You have to put in the work. And you have to put in the work back then. A lot of y'all were, you know, disrespected, isolated, the black sheep of your family, all these different things, treated badly at work. Now that you're getting your rewards and all these different things and you're strong because of what you went through, these karmics want to try to come and take that energy from you. It's not about to happen. These karmics literally don't know that they made themselves a sacrifice. I keep on saying this. By trying to play games with you, tamper with you, trying to put you as a sacrifice or whatever, sacrificial lamb, they just made themselves a sacrifice. You're gonna start to see the whole shebang. You're gonna see a 360 completion of it in a minute. All right, you guys. So that's what I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on later with another stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. And I might do another meditation tonight. We did a hard shell meditation on Patreon. I'll do a longer version of that, and then I'll just unlist it, make it private, and then I'll put it back on Patreon for those of you who want to keep on accessing the meditations even after they go private. That's where I store all of them. All right, you guys. So I'll be back. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.